I've had a lot of people ask me about, you know, the double life path numbers. So, what if I'm an 11? What if I'm a 22? Am I a 2 or a 4? So, what we're going to do is we're going to go over what that means and how to interpret that, because sometimes what happens is, let's say for instance you're an 88. If you're an 88 and you add 8 plus 8, it's 16, and then when you add 16, it's 7. So am I an 88 or a 7, or what am I? Okay. And, or am I a 1 and a 6 and a 7 and an 88? You know, it's like, it gets really confusing. So I'm going to break it all down for you. Okay. So we're going to start with life path 11. Life path 11s are really interesting to me because I see it as sort of like you have a choice. You're born with this extra sensitivity and this creativeness, and you're just an overall caring person. You'll find people that are 11s tend to find some sort of field where they're doing something that is serving humanity. You may be a dog walker, or you may babysit, or you maybe babysit dogs, or you may be, a preacher. There's so many different aspects of where these people go, but the biggest challenge with an 11 is it really is the challenging number. Sometimes with 11s, they're meant to be super spiritual. They are meant to be dynamic. They are meant to take that creativeness and empower it and evolve spiritually. I mean, like, they're supposed to be way up here. It's sort of like the test number, okay? And you'll find that you'll either be an 11 or you'll be a 2. And there's nothing wrong with a 2. It's just that sometimes that happens, and I've seen it. I've seen somebody that I was friends with a while back that allowed that power that he began to create by becoming YouTube famous, um, kind of move him into ego. So instead of being the 11, which is what he started off as, and especially like with his YouTube stuff, he started off as an 11, but he became very egotistical and he became a 2. And so his life path became more of, okay, now you have to go back and work on this. And that's okay. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. So let's talk about that for a second. Life path number 11. So you want to think of this person as being like, they're highly, 11s are highly intuitive. Sometimes they're psychics. They're really like getting in touch with that subconscious mind and integrating it. They're highly charged. But they can be neurotic because they can kind of lean into the 2. And when you're leaning into the 2 a little bit too, you're not putting all that energy into your spiritual development, and really kind of, that sensitivity can take you down the wrong path. Okay, so when it comes to this, you need to use the 2 as a support, not as a downfall. So remember, every number has a positive and negative to it. So like, I can say you're super sensitive, or you're an empath, but empaths can literally retreat and be a hermit and go into depression and not understand what they're experiencing, or they can utilize that to be able to help people and tap into them and be able to really understand and help people heal. So like I said, there's 2 different angles we can go at. How do you want to be? What kind of 2 do you want to be? You can use the 2 to strengthen yourself. You can use your sensitivity and the ability to really be able to collaborate and work on relationships and handle conflicts, or you can allow it to be an internal thing or egotistical thing and go a whole different direction. Okay, so I love 11s because it gives you the opportunity to be on your last life. a lot of times 11s have the option of making it happen in this lifetime. You'll see a lot of 11s that that try really hard, but they can't figure it out. But you'll also notice that if you look into people that are like initiates or adepts in some kind of like magical tradition of sorts, you'll find that they have a tendency of being so evolved. Like they move into those areas, and potentially what you're supposed to do is take everything that you've learned in every lifetime and apply it in this one. But a lot of times 11s, they start doing that, and the masses are attracted to them because they can be very dynamic in sorts, you know? And the masses can be attracted to them, and they let their ego take over, and now that sensitivity, instead of helping others, becomes like ego driven. So if you're an 11, it is time for you to find that path and to shine and raise your consciousness. If you know how to do that, send me an email. We'll talk. We'll explore this. We'll go over this. We can have a discussion about it. Okay. And if that's something that you want to do and you want to understand, we can kind of get into that. Let's look into life path double number 22. So when we're looking at a 22, this is another master number, and this particular one is a master builder. And potentially it's the most successful of all numbers. It's the most powerful of all numbers and often called the master builder. The master builder 22 can turn the most ambitious of dreams into reality. Like they are masters at making something happen. I wouldn't be surprised if people like Donald Trump or, you know, people like that were 22s, because they are really supported by these numbers in their chart that helps them like build things, like make something huge. So if you're a 22, you have that ability to do that. So let go of your fears and move in that direction, because you have that ability. So, but then let's look at it like 2 plus 2 equals 4. So what are those traits? Well, if you focus on what a 4's traits are, 4's traits are hardworking. So you're going to strive for more, okay? You are going to be really good at attention to details. You'll be able to make things really work. You're extremely grounded. You're a natural leader. So like if you are a 22 and you're not following this, you seriously need to like really rethink this, because you of all people are the people that can literally change the world. So let's look at master and number 33. Now remember, there's 3 master numbers, and then the rest are power numbers. So 11, 22, and 33, and these are master numbers. When it comes to a master number 33, it's considered the master teacher and the most spiritual evolved of all numbers, right? Because why? You have a combination of 11 and 22, so that boosts your potential, and it's expressed in the fullest. So 33s, sometimes they can lack a little ambition, and instead they focus on their spiritual uplifting of helping humanity. And you know, I'm going to tell you, when you meet a 33, you're going to be really impressed, because they're such a high level. Like they're usually going to be people that have a very high level of intelligence, whether or not they have a PhD or if they are just a bookworm of information. They're going to be super intelligent. These people seek knowledge. And but again, sometimes they can be a little bit of a hermit, and they can kind of like withdraw within themselves. And they can take all of that and lose the aspects of that ambition and move it into spiritual uplifting because they're so focused on the building part of spirituality. And there's nothing wrong with that. But what we also want to do is how is this going to serve you the best so you're a little bit more ambitious, and is maybe focusing your career on humanity. So this is a humanitarian. This is a human. I'm struggling with my words here. This is a humanitarian, okay? And if you focus on things like that, like, okay, I'm going to be a counselor, or I'm going to be a nurse, or I'm going to be a doctor, or I'm going to work for the Peace Corps, or I'm going to start a nonprofit, or I'm going to open up a homeless shelter. These are going to be people that are really focused on doing something, like saving the planet. If you can find a career that focuses in on that direction, you're utilizing the 6 as a number that really kind of boosts you up, okay? All right, so now let's look at what we call power numbers, okay? And power numbers are going to be 44, 66, 77, 88, and 99. So So 44 is also a 4 plus 4 equals 8. So this really complements each other. Eights are visionaries, okay? They're goal-getters, and as a result, very business oriented, and they don't waste their time on details. However, a 4 is very detail organized, and they're like the organizers and the managers. So if you think about a 4 and you double that, you're thinking like, okay, this is the power number. So what you've got here is you have a person that is very detail oriented and very business oriented, very much of a go-getter. And potentially this is a person that can have a lot of success in anything they choose. Okay? So remember, if you just look at the 4, you're detail oriented, so you can be a little OCD. But if you look at an 8, not so detail oriented, but more of a more of a go-getter and business resulted. You know, I'm an 8, and I was just having a conversation with Pluto the other day, and I'm the person that, you know, when I need to paint a room, I just want to get the paint out and start slapping it on the wall. I don't want to think about all the details that I have to do about, like, you know, taping off the bottom and laying some stuff down. I'll just do it as I go. I'll like, okay, I'm painting this part of the wall. Here's a strip. I will put some tape down in this one section. I'm not going to sit there and go around every single border and do it. I'll do it section at a time. I just want to get in there and get it done. Okay? And that's an 8 for you. They don't really waste their time on the details. They're more about go-getter, get the result, let's get in there, let's, you know, make it happen. But a 4 is the opposite. They're very detail-oriented. So, like, if you take a detail-oriented person that wants to get stuff done, man, this is why it's called a power number, because you're taking the best of all things and putting it together. So, this is a really good number. 55 has the potential to break new ground, to aim high, to lead us into unknown territory, to make it a force reckoned with. You know, the combination of drive and ambition really is inherent with a 55. So, and let me explain that. So 5 plus 5 is 10, so 10 is actually a 1. So we're looking at a 1 and double 5s. Let's just break that down for a second. When it comes to a 1, you're super self-assured in areas of your life, okay? So then you've got, you know, a 5, then you get this constant wave of transformation throughout your lifetime. So you're going to find yourself like transforming, you know? So like me, my numbers add up to 35. So I have a 3 and I have a 5 and then I have an 8. So those numbers are important to look at. But when you have a double number, like a 5, that means that transformation is super important to you. Okay? It's like you're all about personal growth. And then you look at the 1, which is what it ends up adding up to, which is kind of like what guides you in a certain direction, right? Ability to see things from, a different angle. It's like, okay, well, if you don't feel like that this is matching up, it's because the 1 that the 5 plus 5 can add up to can serve as a component that you need to kind of address. Meaning that, like 1s are very creative, and it's potentially they're like the people that really need to be focusing on creativity. So if you're struggling in this area, maybe you need to be like looking at seeing this from a creative perspective. Okay. So let's go to 66. The 3 is the most verbal of all numbers, but it has difficulty maintaining focus, shuns responsibility, and can kind of get off in a daze. Okay. And this is where the 6 shines. So, what we want to do is kind of look at the 6 and kind of focus a little bit more. 3s are creative and a little careless, and 6s are a little on the self-sacrificing side. So when we're looking at a 6, you know, as the core number, it favors the underdog, and it has a keen sense of what is fair and just. These are the people that need to be judges. These are the people that needs to be lawyers. These are the people that are need to be, teaching, healing, construction, legal field, law enforcement, because they favor the underdog. Now, just because we just talked about the 3s being a little like la 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 la, that's just because that number adds up. Okay, we're looking at 66. Okay, that adds up to a 12. That adds up to a 3. So just because I said that just means that that's going to aid in the area of that favoring the underdog, self-sacrificing, being sympathetic. But the 6 is going to push you. It's going to make you get out there and demand results so that you can help that underdog. Okay, this is a really good number. This is the person that I'd probably be really good friends with. Okay, it's all about like fairness. It's like, and if you're not a police officer or an attorney or a judge or something in that area, legal field or counselor or teacher or something that's like stepping out and helping people like moving in a certain direction, then you're probably passed up your career. You probably need to go back to school. Okay, and try something else, because that's what you're actually meant to do. Okay. Now, let's look at the life path number 77. This is one of my personal favorites. It's, spiritual and freedom loving and unconventional. So I want you to think about this. You've got 7 plus 7. So you got the number 7, which is super spiritual. Like they're like usually like, shamans and healers and nurses, things like that. And then you've got 7 plus 7 is 14, and 1 plus 4 is 5. And 5s are super intelligent. So the potential for a 77 is really high, because this is a person that is able to take that number, and this is why it's called a power number, because they can step outside of the box, and they can be all those things. It's a very karmatic number, and that can kind of add to the challenge a little, but we're not going to really get into karmatic numbers today. Okay, what we're going to do is just focus in on the fact that you have the ability to step outside the box. And the biggest challenge will be conveying your knowledge to other people, because you're going to be super intelligent. Okay. These are people, like I said, this is somebody who really thinks outside of the box and really sees things differently, multi-dimensional ways of thinking. But this is good, because you're taking all this spiritual stuff and you're throwing this thinking outside the box and being able to solve problems. And sometimes, like I said, it may be a little challenging to convey that message to others, but you know what? As we grow through life, you just learn. You learn how to do things better. You learn how to grow. You learn how to be the better version of yourself. All right, so let's go to life path number 88. Um, an 88, you're going to add the 8 plus 8. 8 plus 8 is 16, and then you take that 16 and you get 7. This is super powerful number. And this is why it's called a power number, because 8s are super powerful. These people are meant for abundance and success and, public knowledge. I mean, this is a person that's usually the face. These are usually Leos and Aries and, people that have a really strong fire sign. This is a really, big number with an 8. But sometimes when you put an 8 and an 8 together and it's so strong, you might have a little bit of karmic debt. You might find that it's like you're in a position where you're like the phoenix rising, and it's all comes down to the fact that this could potentially be one of your last lifetimes, and that this is like a super spiritual number. This is your life to get your shit right, to clear all your debts, and for all those debts that other people owe you to come to you. So this is really a karmatic number. You're looking at calling in those debts that people owe to you, and you potentially paying the debts out to other people. And I don't mean like money debts. I mean like maybe somebody did you a favor in another lifetime, and so you're giving that favor back. Maybe you did somebody a favor in another lifetime, and this is the time for them to pay you back. So literally you can kind of do this meditation where you're calling out your karmic debts, and you're asking people that owe you to pay it in this lifetime. And you can do that. You can like connect with your higher self and ask for those debts to be paid off. So this is a really great number because you have the power of an 8, and then you also have the spirituality of a 7, but with the with the 1 and the 6 being a karmic debt number, that means that you have the ability to take that, really connect with your spiritual side and pull in that karmic debt that people owe you. So anybody owe you money from a past life or favors or anything like that, just sit down and meditate and get that. Ask, the divine, your archangels, or your higher self to pull in those debts to be paid off in this lifetime. It's a good number. Okay, so let's do our last one, and that is 99. This is the highest of all numbers. 99 relates to global consciousness, toleration, humanitarianism, and love for all people worldwide. So let's look at these numbers. We have 9 plus 9 is 18. So you have a 1 and you have an 8. And then you take 1 and 8 together and you have a 9. So like we're looking at a triple 9 with the power of an 8. Okay? Like seriously, this is like one of the best numbers. So this is the highest of all powers. Okay? This is the most powerful number. Gosh, I wish I was this one. This is like Mother Teresa. You have collected all your debts, all your karmatic stuff, and you have all these qualities from all these lifetimes that just embraces you in this lifetime. This is a person that is very pragmatic. They're a visionary, they're a doer, they're a leader. Like I said, these are people like Gandhi and Mother Teresa. These are people that are going to get out there and really like show up for the world. So if you're a 99, get busy, baby, because this is your destiny. I hope you guys enjoyed this. This was fun to do. And if you have any questions, please put some comments in the comments. I just discovered that YouTube helps your algorithms and grows your business and all this other stuff. It's easier for people to be seen if they see people are commenting, so then they put you higher in the algorithm. So please comment. If all you have to do is say, I'm a 99, I'm a 22, I'm this, you're full of shit, Michelle, I don't really care. Just comment. Also, like and subscribe. Remember, like and subscribe, like and subscribe. Please, please, please. All of that kind of stuff helps us. It would be really, really good karmatically for you. It's good karmatically for you. Just remember, we are putting all this information out for you. So help us out by giving back, liking and subscribing, and sharing this content. Share it on Facebook, share it anywhere, but share. Okay? We love you, and let us know if you have any suggestions. Comments. Talk to you soon.
Subscribe now.